Hello again. Welcome back. So, last episode we found that this career still actually works. In this episode, we're going to remove some old probes and try to speed up the gameplay a little bit. Because it was beginning to chug. So I looked into if there was a quick formula for orbital decay. I couldn't find any for elliptical orbits. Like, for example, this is not elliptical. Huh. Did I really? Strange. Well, it's all good. All right, we're going to get rid of some of these things. Goodbye. 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 Oh, don't tell me it. Yeah, it left that orbit highlighted. Happily, I have all of this backed up in my old save in case I screw up. Oh, hey, Luca. Sorry, spending all my time looking at this, not looking at chat. So out of practice. All right. All right, these things we're going to leave around because they're useful. Goodbye, centipede. Goodbye, caterpillar. Goodbye, all you caterpillars. All right, we're going to leave the earthworms for now. All right. Now we should have stuff just about unlocked, I would think. Oh, oops, wrong thing. Tech is what I want, not upgrades. Interplanetary comms. Nope, another over a month until we get interplanetary comms. All right, so I guess we'll just do more satellite contracts. Could do another EDL, but I think, oh, now I remember what I was doing. All right, so you'll note here that we have this contract. I'm saving up this contract because I want to use it to flight test my first human-rated capsule. So that's why we're not using it up on an existing thing. Now, interestingly, that's actually probably the wrong move because it would be better to get the money from the contract now and invest that rather than 6 months from now get that money for the new thing and spend an extra $10 million that we otherwise wouldn't. But it feels cooler to actually do it this way. What does this require? Navsat payload of 100 units. 45 degrees. Oh, that looks fairly trivial. We can do that with an old launch vehicle. Um, does that even pay any better? No, it pays worse than this. That makes no sense. Something is weird. Yeah, there's no way on earth that this should pay less than the other one. Unless there's a limited number of these you can do. But yeah, because those rewards are better than the other one. Ooh, right, I haven't done a lunar landing yet. I think I probably don't have the tech for it, though. Let's check what tech I have. Early flight control gives us the 1 kilonewton thruster, 80 baby RCS quad, hydrazine. Oh, right, we knew we had hydrazine because that's in the upper stage in the last thing. All right. Now, in terms of avionics, we have this researched, which means we have the Mariner core. Science, infrared radiometer. All right. I guess we might as well land on the moon. That'll give us a heck of a boost. Feels kind of messed up to do it this early. Wait, have we already landed on the moon? I wonder. I can't actually remember whether I did or not. Oh, right, it's in here. Archives. Earth, the moon. Nope, we haven't landed on the moon yet. Interesting. All right. Well, that seems like the obvious next thing to do. Oh, which was probably why I was building Doberman anyway. Didn't think about that. Why does that exist? Okay. Right. Step 1, let's load up Doberman and see if it loads. It's Corgi, Cricket, Doberman. Let's see how screwy it gets. Because I did have to do a little bit of rocket surgery on it to use the right parts. But it looks like the rocket surgery was broadly successful. Close enough. All right. So this gets to be offset down into meaninglessness. The bell is actually positioned correctly. That's impressive. However, this part is not. That's looking good. All right. Let's remove the extra height. Okay. Now, for this one, we also know that it will be screwy. Let us fix this. Oh, that's interesting. That's weird. That's pretty weird. Wonder why they were offset like that. Maybe because I didn't care. It's possible I didn't care. Oh, it's possible also that's where they snapped to. There we go. All right. Now, engines. Where's the pretty one? Here's the pretty one. Okay. It's all good. This does have one reignite. All right. Let's put this back together. Okay. And it's got lead ballast up there. All right, now I have to fix the staging and make sure that all the configs are correct. Oh yes, I was thinking about whether to do this. Should we do this? Higher thrust, higher specific impulse. Why ever would we not? Seems like that's a no-brainer. I have the money. I trust that the propellants are the same. Burn time is 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Yep, all right, propellants are the same. All right, which means we can now stretch this out a little bit, I think. Right, none of this thing is tooled. Yeah, this is going to take, this is, it's going to have a low pad liftoff thrust for sure. All right. Now this thing, let us also upgrade it. These four, that, and retros, and ullage. that, and the Vernier, then that, and that. No, that's wrong. Okay, that looks much closer to correct. This has no engine configs. Probably should over provision a little bit. So how long will this take to get to orbit? Well, that is not enough upper stage for this launch vehicle. So let's go back down to 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Actually, let's go down to 2:30. Okay. Now this. All right. Okay. And then this 3 minutes 17.8. Yeah, it was over provisioned a little bit. Uh, 2% of that is 60, so 2650. All right. That should be about right. Let's over provision it even more. That really does take us down, but we're going to have plenty of locks spare. Now, oh yes, this is slightly longer than I want it to be. There. All right. What does this imply for how much it will cost to get into low Earth orbit? It will cost, starting thrust weight ratio is not that bad. However, this is a long running stage. So I'm going to guess it will be about 9,200 meters per second, maybe 9,100 meters per second. Given how long running that is and the fact that we still need about a minute of this. So we're effectively talking about 9 minutes to orbit, which is not that much better than Saturn V. So yeah. And we'll have to go to a higher perigee too. What else could we do? Well, we could... So let me sum this stuff up. Okay, so we have about 300 meters per second spare. We could start by lowering the burn time of this. go to 5 minutes and 15 seconds. We lost, what, about 40 meters per second. Let's also bring this one down to 3 minutes and 15 seconds even. Well, 3 minutes and 16 seconds, whatever. What else do I want to do to this? Yeah, it's just got an underpowered second stage. But if I put a second of those engines on, then it would be a overpowered second stage. And we don't really have... We don't really have the... Yeah, in some ways it would make more sense to have 3 of those engines. And then a shorter second stage, but then we wouldn't want to toss a full Cheshire up here. So let's figure out what we need. If we want 3250, well, 3200, and let's claim we want a full 9300 to orbit. That's 12500. So we can make this a little bit heavier. That's close enough. All right, now let's see what we've got. First, I'll save it. Okay, so we can toss a full ton TLI. That's pretty darn good when you think about it. We can easily do a lunar lander on a full ton. So now the question is, what kind of lunar lander do we want to build? Well, first, we need something that will do lunar orbit insertion and then another maybe 2200 meters per second to land. So that's like 3.1 km/sec. All right, let's spend some money. And some propellant tanks. Oh yes, we need... Oh, that's convenient. I skipped straight. Oh, I remember what I did this playthrough. I did a really weird thing in this playthrough. Well, I guess we need SM2. This becomes hydrazine. Well, that's anemic. Oh, right, I forgot about the whole utilization 50% thing on service modules, but that's fine. Okay, so we're going to have about 500 meters per second on our terminal landing stage. The one what has avionics. Speaking of which, what avionics do we have? 0.32 tons. Nice. Piano Josh, so that's a good question. And objectively, Tank 3 would be better, but I feel like it's unfair to use Tank 3 in this case, because this is a case where you should be using a service module tank. I don't know quite how to enforce that. I got to think of that later. But for myself, at least, I'm going to do it this way. Let's find something interesting to texture it with. That seems fine. Its burn time is not a lot. In fact, that tempts me to instead where did the max column go? Do I care about ammo DV? I don't, honestly. Oh, that's new. Right. So we were looking at Moon. Yeah, alright, that's not quite as overpowered as I feared, but it's still fairly overpowered. Yeah, also, like, this already is wider than the Whack Corporal's tank, so... so this is at 1.1. How heavy is it anyway? It's 12 kilos. If we instead used... Oh, we don't have any of the big ones yet, so I guess we're not using any of the big ones. Alright, so let's... We will instead put an RCS quad in here. Absolute. Okay. And, oh yes, set them to hydrazine. That would be nice to remember to do. Hydrazine. Okay. How are we doing? We're actually filling up rapidly. Now, comms. If memory serves, you need only one of these to get to the moon, I think. Let's see what it says. Yep, effective range. Okay. So, let's save some mass. Solar panels. All right, let's get maybe these. Okay, and then just a little bit. Now for science. Why is the... Wonder why the barometer is... Let's see, does Mariner have any experiments? Oh, right, and I need to fill it up with hydrazine too. Science experiment, analyze telemetry. That's all. All right. How much EC does it have? 7,200. Let's change it to... actually, let's not, because we can't guarantee that we'll be oriented correctly for the solar panels. So we'll leave that as it is, and instead just put lots of hydrazine in. 257. Let's put some landing legs on. They're not long enough. They're definitely not long enough. I guess I could do them down here instead. Yeah, all right. How heavy is that? Oh, geez, 8 kilograms. All right. Yeah, that takes our delta V right the heck down, and our mass right the heck up. Activate. Analyze telemetry. All right, science experiments. Ion mass spectrometer. Oh, that has to be returned for analysis, so we're not getting it. Micrometeorite detector we are getting. Thermometer we are getting. I'm pretty sure that we're not going to have delta V to put a biosample. Biological sample, 15 kilograms. Could we somehow magically manage this? Right, we have a ton to play with. What am I talking about? We'll be fine. If necessary, we'll just use like 2 of these things. but I don't think we need that much controllable for terminal landing. And we actually want it. Do we want more like, yeah. Yeah, we want more lever arm. Okay. Now let's load it up. Barometer. Early magnetic boom. That is also 15 kilograms. Okay. Early television camera. His mass is 5 kilograms. These things all mass 1. How much is the antenna mass, anyway? Three. Can't really afford to have more than one of it. Bring that up. Let's put that here. Put that there. All right. Hey, Pap. Piano Josh, that's a great point. I wasn't aware that 20-inch X-ray had a mass spectroscopy experiment, actually. If it does, we should definitely make it something else or make a generic transmittable version. All right, where were we? So we put the barometer on. Geiger counter. Micrometeorite detector. Orbital perturbation experiment. Thermometer. And we're one thing short. So I'll just put a second thermometer on. Now I believe, yes, we are completely stable. All right. How are we doing on mass? 4 kilograms overweight. Okay. That can be easily solved. And let's put a few more solar panels on just in case. Okay. Yeah, this is not going to be the best lander that ever landed, but it should at least land. Um, I guess I seriously should have considered adding the 20-inch X-ray detector because it's all of 10 kilograms and it has a bunch of experiments. Which ones does it have in particular? It has micrometeorite, it has barometer, it has mass spectroscopy, it has Geiger. 4, so it would cost us 6 kilograms to have that. So I guess we saved 6 kilograms by not having it. All right, what are we forgetting on this probe? I'm not immediately thinking that we're forgetting anything per se. All right, let's add everything to the action group, except for the biosample. Okay, television camera. Radiation. Impacts. Perturbation. All right. So that's a handy little bit of science. Now, here's the interesting question. Can we get ourselves what are we at? 700 meters per second. We're going to want another 2,400 meters per second. So let's put a little itty bitty baby thing in here. Okay. And ooh, do I have solids in this playthrough? Tiny Tim. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I do. I have an Altair. Oh, of course I have solids in this playthrough. I've been using boosters. All right. So there's an Altair. And then where's the little itty bitty baby ones? There's the little itty bitty baby ones. 45s. Let's put some more Altairs on. Well, that's too heavy. Let's try just 2 of them. That's within our mass budget, and it is definitely within our delta V requirements. We, in fact, have about uh, 2,400 meters per second to land on the surface. You read it as 78 because it's 1.1 slash 1.78 kilonewton thruster. The 1.1 is what it is at TL3 in hydrazine, and the 1.78 is what it is at TL3 in NTO MMH. Basically, it's telling you what it is in monoprop and biprop mode in the standard mid-60s era. All right, here's what I'm going to do is put these on the 45s. And then put these on the 90s. Okay. That also means that we can then, I think, decrease this a little bit. Because we don't need... Well, I mean, we'll be fine. What we will do is we'll give it more than one antenna. There. And let's just double check. 307, that's fine. Okay, we now have a lunar lander. Yes, that's correct. We're not going to be orbiting. We're going to do it surveyor style. We're going to throw it at the moon, and we're going to land wherever we threw it. That said, what could we do to get around that? Well, we could do that, but then we wouldn't have enough delta V to land. Yeah, what we could do instead is use a liquid kick stage, but then we would need guidance in order to reorient for retrofire. So we're just going to stick like this. Piano Josh, I thought I sent a television camera on my orbiters. Like, let's load up the fleas and see what the fleas are. Maybe I didn't. Look at that. Totes already have it. So yes, we actually have complete lunar orbital science. So basically the only reason I put those experiments on were... Oh, interesting. In that case, I did decide to do that. Oh, and it's even a guided orbiter. Right, but same deal where it's got a unguided. Unguided does like 2/3 of the work in this case. And the last bit is just for fine-tuning things. Yeah, so this campaign has been really interesting, and Pap, you'll appreciate this. Pap, you were talking before about how it looks like space shuttle age technology. This campaign, I actually waited until having Tank 3 to go to orbit. I basically waited until I had the equivalent of Thor Able Star to go to orbit. Rather than... Oh, that's nice. It actually... the diameters match. So that is pretty close to that. Oh, no, it's actually not. It's quite a bit further out. All right, so let's save a few kilos and tweak this a little bit. All right, and I'm gonna squeeze this up a little bit because there's some wasted space. So then these things can come down a little bit. Oops. No, still not gonna do it, is it? Oh, that's because this reset. Oh, I can be I can be super cheap and do it this way instead. Just attach it to the bell. Not like it gimbals. It's not like it's going to get super hot. Well, it actually is going to get super hot, but we'll assume there are struts coming down that will attach to that. So that's fine. All right. Whatever. I'm satisfied. Yeah, so we saved a little bit of delta V doing that too. Yeah, I mean, ideally we would just crush the engine bell on landing, but can't do that in KSP. Not with that plugin. All right, so I think we're good. So let's stick it on top of the rocket and see what we got. Doberman. God, it fits the fairing. Oh, it doesn't fit the fairing. Well, the retooling cost for that is fairly cheap. All right. And all of our staging is now correct. Let's verify that we have enough delta V for all of this, which is 3764 plus 3847 plus 4947 minus 3250 is 9308. So yeah, I confess myself satisfied that this will in fact manage to do everything that it's supposed to do. It is just shy of 250 tons. It is by a factor of about 4, the largest thing we will have ever had. And if I find myself satisfied, which I think I do, I will go ahead and tool it all, start it building. which won't actually take that long because it's going to be pretty cheap once we tool everything. And then we'll go to the moon. But that will have to be at another time because I got to go. So thank you everybody for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.